What's good, YouTube? It's your girl Ari. Today I'm here with an update. Last week I did a video showing you guys what's in my hospital bag. And today I'm going to be telling you guys what I actually used and what I didn't use. I realized pretty quickly that I definitely overpacked. Yeah, so there was a lot that I did not use in my hospital bag. I think like 90% of the things that I brought I probably did not use. So I'm just going to go through a quick list and tell you guys what I actually needed and what was just kind of a waste of space. So the first thing was the masks, the disposable masks. That was actually good that we brought them. Definitely had more than we needed, but every time the nursing staff or doctors came into the room, we had to put our masks on. When they weren't there, we didn't have to wear the masks, and when I was actually in labor, I didn't wear the mask because it's kind of hard to breathe with it on, so I didn't use it then. But any other time when we were in the room and someone else came in, we put on masks and tried to just use a new one each time. So it was definitely necessary to bring those masks. I don't know if they even had masks there that we could have used. They never said. I didn't see any either, but they had a bunch of gloves. So when we needed gloves, we could just grab some from there. But definitely need to have your masks if you are going into labor, especially during coronavirus and, you know, with everything going on right now. Definitely bring masks. I would say I have one of those washable ones, but I didn't actually use that. I used the disposable ones just because they're easy to get rid of, and because you're not going to be able to wash the reusable one while you're there, so that's better for other occasions. But definitely bring the disposable masks with you. The nipple balm, the soothing stuff, was a must-have. They didn't have anything there, or at least they didn't let me know about it, but that was definitely good to have, especially when you're starting to breastfeed and it's very new and you don't understand latching and the baby doesn't know what they're doing. So for me, it was a must-have. So that was a critical thing that I had packed in my suitcase. All of the nursing bras and the nursing tank tops and stuff, I definitely used those. Those came in super handy. It just makes it a lot easier when you're trying to breastfeed and take care of a new baby. But when it came to like clothes and stuff, like honestly, the only clothes that I ended up using was the nursing tank top when I went home and a pair of sweatpants. And other than that, I did not use any of the other clothes that I brought. So like not even my going home outfit, not even like my lounge outfits. Like I didn't use any of that because the whole time I was in a gown, and that's pretty much all I wore. I did use my robe though. The robe was good because if you want to take off the gown or something, or if you just are a little bit cold, the robe was definitely good to have. But I literally did not use any of my clothes that I brought. The same goes for like socks and stuff. Like they have footy socks, they like the little socks with the grip on it. I did use my slippers. However, we were not allowed to leave the room, so just like walking around the room, I usually had on the hospital provided socks, but I did try to use my slippers on the second to last day just because I felt like I needed to get some use out of them, and because going from like the bathroom to the bed and stuff, you want to have something on your feet. So I was using my UGG slippers for that. But I couldn't really go anywhere, so I didn't get much use out of them because we couldn't leave the room. Essentially, anytime we needed something from like water or whatever, we would just call them and they would bring it in. And then if you wanted food, it would be delivered right into the room. So we really didn't go anywhere the entire time, so there was no need for me to put on clothes or really do anything. So most of the time was spent wearing the hospital provided gown. Same goes as far as like underwear. I did not use a single pair of underwear the whole time that I was there. Once the induction started, all I had on was the maternity gown, and you don't wear anything under that until like after the baby's born, then you can put something on. So they provide these disposable underwear, and basically you wear those for as long as you can because there's a lot that's happening down there. And I'll do a full separate video on like the postpartum self-care and like how that whole thing worked out. But I didn't wear one pair of underwear that I brought. I've been wearing disposable underwear. I did put on a pair of shorts, like kind of like these bicycle shorts similar to these, on the last day, but then I didn't know what the weather was like outside, so I put some sweatpants on over that to go home. We weren't there for very long. I think we were there for 2 nights. My blanket, I definitely used that because sometimes it got a little cool in the room. They have plenty of blankets, plenty of pillows. If you ask for stuff, they're usually able to get you more if you need more. At least the hospital we went to, which was Beth Israel in Boston, but I think most hospitals probably operate the same way. But if you have questions, you can call them and ask them like what they have available to you. What else did we use? The baby's going home outfit. She just wore a onesie, a long sleeve onesie. That was really it. Everything else that I brought for her, I did not need. I brought a hat for her and it was too big for her head, so she ended up wearing the hospital provided hat, which fit nice and snug. She's actually still wearing that hat when she does need one because her head is still too small for the hats that I bought her. I also brought some socks for her, which she kicks off all the time. They say that they're wiggle proof, but nah. Obviously, like toiletries and washcloths and stuff, we used all of that stuff. The extension cord came in super handy, just being able to reach my phone from the bed while it was charging. So that was definitely a positive thing to pack. And then as far as like my snack pack, you guys saw that I had a whole bag full of snacks. I didn't need to eat all of them, so I didn't really need to bring all of them. I think the only things that I really had, the only things that I really should have brought was the Gatorades, definitely. I went through both of those Gatorades. So that was, you know, definitely bring something to hydrate yourself. Obviously hospitals have water, but you'll probably get tired of drinking the water and need something with a little bit of like sugar and salt and electrolytes. So Gatorade was a must for me. And then I also ate the Snickers, of course, and I had the Cheez-It mix. I had some of that. I didn't obviously eat the whole box, but the hospital provides food. They bring it right into the room, so we didn't have to worry about like actual meals. That was just to kind of like hold me over between meals. Again, most of the stuff that I brought I did not need. So for example, I know I brought perfume. I didn't end up using it. It wasn't because I didn't want to, but it was because I didn't know how she would react to the perfume, just because, you know, sometimes like, you know, it's a fragrance, so I didn't want her to get irritated since I was nursing. So I didn't end up using the perfume at all. The pacifier that we brought for her, they provide the exact same one at the hospital, so we didn't even need to use ours, so we just kept that one. I brought a swaddle blanket for her, but it was kind of small, so we ended up using their swaddle blankets, which are perfectly fine. They have an abundance of them, so feel free to use the hospital provided ones. The nipple shields, so I brought the like the disposable ones and the washable ones, thinking like, oh, if my boobs are leaking, this will be great to use. I don't know who I was fooling, because there was nothing leaking because I wasn't producing milk yet, so obviously there was nothing to be leaking. So I didn't end up using that because your body is just producing what's called colostrum, however you pronounce it. Your body is only producing that before it starts producing milk, and it doesn't like, there's not an abundance of it. It's just like a little liquid that you can kind of expel from your breasts, or when the baby is nursing, they'll get it. But it's not like your boobs are going to be leaking like they will once you start producing your milk, which happens like 2 to 3 days after you give birth. So I didn't end up needing to use any of the nursing pads because my boobs were not leaking. I was not producing milk yet. Nothing was happening. So I didn't end up using any of those. I also brought Lactation Tea. I just brought one tea bag, thinking it would be helpful. I didn't end up having a chance to drink it, which actually ended up being a good thing, because when I did end up producing my milk, I produced way too much and my boobs got engorged, which basically means like they're super full, super hard, very painful. So I'm actually very glad that I didn't drink the Lactation Tea, because that stimulates milk production. But I still have it, and maybe at some point I'll try it out if there's a time where I feel like I'm not producing enough milk. But right now I'm definitely producing probably more milk than I need to, so I'm not going to be drinking that anytime soon. I also brought a pair of headphones, thinking that, like, you know, I can listen to some music and be all soothed and stuff. Honestly, the time that I thought I would use them, I was just in too much pain, and all I wanted to do was just like concentrate and kind of focus on the end goal here, which was how I kind of got through it. But I didn't end up using my headphones, didn't listen to music. We kind of watched a little bit of TV. They had some movies on, but yeah, I didn't end up using my headphones either. Sports bras, unnecessary. And so I actually brought all of my own medications that I'm taking, but when I talked to the doctors that were there about taking them, because you should always ask the doctors too, if you're taking medication, when you're there, just ask them and say, hey, I typically take XYZ. is it okay to take the medicines? Don't just take them, especially if you are being induced and there's other things that are going into your body. Just be on the safe side and talk to them first. So I asked them about taking my medications, and they basically said, don't take anything that you brought. The only things that you can take are things that are prescribed through the hospital. So they said that I had to wait until they gave me the medications, and it was all the same stuff. As far as medications, I would definitely say bring them with you just in case there's something they don't have, but definitely ask before you take anything. As far as postpartum items, again, I'm gonna do a whole separate video on postpartum care, but I didn't end up using any of the stuff that I brought because the hospital had all the things that I needed. So I just used what they had so that I would have my stuff for when I got home. And then also, if you don't have postpartum stuff at home, or even if you do, ask them if you can take the stuff that they give you. Ask for more, put it in your luggage, put it in your suitcase, put it in your bags, or tell them, be like, hey, do you have extra XYZ? The woman, the young lady who was helping out when I was there, was super nice. She had asked, and I had told her, like, hey, if you have whatever you have, I'll take. So basically they gave a bunch of like disposable underwear, they gave extra pads, they gave extra ice packs, they gave the spray that keeps the ice packs cold, they gave me the healing foam that they had, basically everything. So just don't be shy. I mean, you're paying to be at this hospital, whether you're paying or your insurance, somebody is paying. So just make sure you ask, tell them that you want to take whatever they have, and make sure that you get yours. So I didn't end up using any of the postpartum stuff that I brought. I ended up using that once I got home, but definitely use what they provide. So that's what I actually used in the hospital. Wasn't a ton of stuff. I'm very surprised that she's not made a peep this entire time. She's been so good. She is officially 1 week old today, and she's getting better at being asleep during the night and awake during the day, but I'm actually going to wake her up because I need her to get up. I don't want her sleeping for more than like 2 hours during the day, because then she won't sleep at night. So I'll show you guys her, even though you guys have seen her. But yeah, she's looking real cute today. Oh, come here, mama. Yeah. What is on you, lint? Yeah, I know. Yeah, why do you have lint on you? What? Oh, it's not lint. It's your skin. Okay. Aww, I know. So she's super tired, per usual, because, I mean, duh, it's exhausting being a baby and eating and feeding and sleeping all day, clearly. So, say hi, Zuri. Okay, hey. She likes to mean mug when I wake her up. She'll probably not be too excited about this, but it's time to wake up. You can't sleep through the whole day. At the end of the day, you're not going to use most of the stuff that's in your hospital bag, provided that you go to a hospital that is like decent and has most of the stuff that you're going to need available to you. I don't think that there was anything that I felt like I needed to bring that I didn't bring. I mean, maybe the exception would be like a hairbrush, because if you guys saw the last video, they didn't have hairbrushes there for babies. She was doing her hair after they shampooed her hair for the first time. They were brushing her hair with a toothbrush. So I could have probably helped out and brought ours, but I was not aware that they would not have one. That was a little odd to me, but they pretty much had everything else. There was nothing that I got there and felt like I didn't have and needed to have. And again, like 90-something% of the stuff that I brought didn't end up getting used anyway. So hopefully you guys have found this informative and helpful. Hopefully it gives you some guidance if you are in the process of packing a hospital bag for an upcoming delivery. If you are, good luck. You know, the hospital staff is very professional. They're very great. At least where we were, they were awesome. I felt super comfortable. Everyone that came into our room had a mask on themselves, had gloves on. So just know that they are looking out for the health of you and your baby, and you'll be okay. You'll do great. We'll see you soon. Say bye, Zoe. Bye. 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 This face. Why the face? You don't know. You don't know? That's okay. You're still cute. Mwah.